Jeffrey Brown.
Well, like Cynthia said, I'm Jeff. I'm a architectural designer by practice and now also a practicing artist. This installation piece here was a collaboration between myself and a friend of mine, Jose Robinson. He's the owner and creator of Instakarma Apparel, the line that I'm wearing and that's in front of you here. And it's interesting, just like all the other new artists here, I at one point was fresh, and Cynthia gave me a challenge that I wanted to kind of, try, and do something different. So I started with I had some paintings at first, some abstract paintings that I was familiar with doing, but I wanted to try something new. I wanted to play with my scale. Coming from an architectural background, I think about space a lot and what we put in space and how space makes people feel. So Cynthia gave me the opportunity to try something different, and I looked at the gallery for a little bit and saw what was around, and I decided to do an installation piece that turned into 2 installation pieces. That was almost like 4 installation pieces. So I kind of had to pull back from the idea. But this was something that I was thinking about for a while and did not know how to make it a thing. But the clothing line is all local, and it comes from a lot of the art and the artistic creativity of a lot of different people in the city. And so this was me just collaborating with a friend of mine. And so what you see here, this one is season 1. So this side is called Create, and this side is called Explore. And I titled that because the first season it was just a bunch of young people trying to create. We had the designs and the backdrops were the designs and graphics from the artist. And my goal was to platform Instakarma not only as an apparel company but as an art collective. We were a bunch of artists, from designers to dancers to photographers to architects. And so it was like, how do I take all of these and kind of embody some kind of piece that represents it? So I took the graphics from season 1 and season 2. Season 2 hasn't dropped yet, so these are all relatively new. Like super exclusive, really. And so this backdrop has all the season 1 designs, and then the paintings, the abstract paintings, were just me kind of taking and putting from the influence of the art, and then using the colors from season 1. And I really just kind of improvised this abstract that kind of just pulls from the influence of what I felt. And then in front of that is just the apparel. So I call them Skywalkers. It's just a hanging tape mannequin that I did out of a friend of mine who's a dancer. So I just kind of found somebody that didn't mind standing for a long time, and I created a mannequin out of them, and I dressed them up, and then I hung them up so that it looks like a 3D collage when you look at it, but you can also experience it, go between it, look at the scale of the clothing, the scale of the art, and then all the different intricate pieces that goes into the design that fuels this, what goes on the shirts. So it's almost like art, the conception of the designs, to art, what the artists kind of take and how we move from that, and then the apparel to what we wear and how we move and the creativity that we want to push from it. So that's what these pieces are.
And I have a handout on Instakarma, and also you'll see it on our website. But I'm very excited on the current projects that Jeff is working on. And he has abstracts here in the gallery too, and he has been exhibiting outside of the gallery also. So Jeff, what is going to be coming forward? Tell us a little bit.
I have no idea. Like everything I do, I kind of have to feel I'm in the mood. What I like the most is being around creative people. So I have a lot of people around my peers. I'm fans of a lot of people. I have a homie Manny that he's an artist over here. I'm a fan of a lot of these people in the area. So what I like to do is just kind of see what's around and feel out the energy of my peers and try to take whatever's in me and try to pull it out. So I have a few more abstracts coming. I have some stuff I want to infuse with my architectural practice as well. So I don't really know, but I have some things I'm trying to flesh out.
Well, we do sort of have a little project going on here. Pretty soon you'll be releasing some posters and postcards.
Yes. So season 2 of Instakarma is dropping like right now. So Facebook, Instakarma Apparel, Instagram, Instakarma Apparel, whatever. And so we'll be having postcards and posters printed of the photography of everybody that's in the mix in the collective. So there's more than one artist that's involved. And this is just my way as an artist to try to take and put my piece in it as well. So
okay. Did anyone have questions for Jeff?
Oh, awesome.
Okay, right, because they all hate to take. Now, before I forget, there are a couple of young ladies that are here from MIAD, the Milwaukee Institute of Art Design. And you'll see a young lady walking around taking notes. She's actually doing a project, right? Would you tell us your name, dear?
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Well, I have nothing to do with the exhibit. I'm just kind of here. But my name is Shatwan Simpson. I'm a freshman at MIAD, and I wanted to talk about community and how me coming from like a different state, experiencing like the family vibes that are here, how community can kind of like influence artists. So that's kind of what I've been taking notes on. Yeah, it's great to see your work, great to meet all you, and I look forward to seeing more of it.
Thank you very much. And moving on very quickly here, because this guy here, who is probably the most prominent and demanding artist, but I'm not gonna make him talk, but he's the sharpest guy you ever see. You know, so he likes to sit here and be cool, but he is the greatest artist, and he works in oils. And you don't see many works that are created here in Milwaukee that are this fine and have a very lasting effect. They stand the test of time. Because this work was done when?
This is 1984.
1984?
See, that's what a good work of art would do for you. And he has several. There's some that are in the catalog.
1984?
Some people weren't born then. And that's still 35 years
You
ago.
old.
But as you look at his work, it's still perfection, you know, to this day. And we have several other works that we rotate of his. So I just wanted him to say hello. You gonna do that? Say hello.
How you doing?
All right.
I appreciate being here. You know, but Marvin was just something, a person that I really admired coming up, you know, and we all back in the 60s, 70s, you know, we had a lot of Motown artists that, you know, Smokey Robinson, The Temptations, Marvin Gaye, Tammy Terrell, I could go on and on. You know, but Marvin was somebody that I really appreciate his work. You know, not just only his work, his biography. You know, he had it really hard coming up, you know, and he expressed that in his work. So since I love his work, you know, I just decided to do a painting of him, you know, because, and actually the reason why I put it in an eye is because most everybody had eyes for Marvin. You know, like this lady, she works down at the Journal, and she was taking some photos of Marvin. And she was showing me all the photos that she took, and that's what gave me a good idea of an eye for him, because everybody had an eye for Marvin. You know, his work was just splendid. You know, but I understand his work because of the situation he went through when he was out there on the road, you know, like his biography said something about him sleeping in the alley, you know, when he was out of town, you know, he didn't go to hotels and sleep, you know, and it's just amazing because of what he sung, you know, expressed my work, and his work was still doing his talent. So that's what gave me a good idea of painting something so splendid as Marvin. And I guess I do, and a lot of other people do this a great deal. So that's all I got to say.
So can I ask a question then?
Yeah.
So obviously Marvin Gaye's music like evoked a lot of emotion from different people. What were you expecting to get from painting him through, you know, his eye or your eye, or whatever view you're seeing him from? What emotion did you want to get from that?
I think it's music that I always listen to, and the different types of things that he was listening to, different types of lyrics. Because Marvin was more like a love song artist, you know, until he made this album called What's Going On. When he made What's Going On, that changed the whole rhythm of his artwork because, you understand, he used to have an association with Tammy Terrell. And she passed for a brain operation. Or whatever. She passed it. Then he didn't do none of his work within 5 years. Then his brother came from the service, you know, and then that's when he made What's Going On. You know, because his brother was explaining to him how people would die, you know, in the service and all things like that. So that gave him a good idea of expressing coming back. In 5 years, he came back. So I really appreciate that out of him, you know.
Okay, see, he talked after a while. See, they all just, you know, they bring out the best in me and I bring out the best in them. And I see my other dear friend just sneaked in here. Hi. Come on out. Hey. You can hug me, it's all right. Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, I thought I had the number one master artist,
You going
but
over
there's a lot of them, and I know that Milton,
over there.
that Milton loves this guy's work. This is Ronaldo Hernandez, who is, as far as I know, probably one of the longest career artists here in Milwaukee. And he's just central to the culture of Milwaukee on both the north side and the south side, being that he's African American and Hispanic. So he gets all of this love from both sides of the city and always has. And he has murals and monumental works all over Milwaukee and Wisconsin. And everyone has been, I don't know, Ronaldo and I, we fight all the time, but I'm like, Ronaldo, you gotta do me some new work here and get it done. And what we forget a lot of times is we see his murals, we see all of his works in public places. Most notably would be the Eagle on 6th and National. That's pretty much a landmark to Milwaukee. But he's also this brilliant painter. And as we can see now, a sculptor. He is the creator of the piece of Muhammad Ali's daughter. And also, I have works by his daughter here in the gallery. He has 5 children. Six, sorry about that, 6. And I believe all 6 of them paint. They're superb artists, just like Ronaldo. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my friend, Ronaldo Hernandez. So can you tell us a little, everybody's been asking about the creation of your work.
All right. Good evening.
You want to come over by your work?
If you want me to.
I feel bad for you, just moving all over the place.
I know, I'm used to this. I got you.
This is
Yeah, she didn't get her
a
field
very
trip this time.
different piece of one he's actually been working on for a long time. But I hounded and so he could do it.
You just gonna skip?
So you want to tell us about this piece?
No, I'm playing.
This piece right here is called Unfinished Business. Anybody can guess who the person is, even though it's not finished? Nobody.
Guessing even though she just told us.
Oh, but then you get to answer. What's it? All right, that's right.
Layla Ali?
Yeah, that's right. This was done, well, the upper part, I went to a seminar in Las Vegas. So instead of going like a couple years in college to learn one thing, you can go and learn from the pros. And you can learn like in 1 week, what you learn in 6 months if you go to school. Because these guys will crash course you and you work all night. So this is like airbrushing on canvas. That was a course I took. My teacher was named Steve. Then, see, it's not finished. Most of it is. So my concept was to combine kind of like a sculpture piece, and that's where the legs came from. And it's put together. So your mind, your imagination fills in the waist part, connects it, because that's how the eye works. Even your eye right now doesn't see everything. It just makes little, puts it together with your brain. That's how that works. So that piece. Today was a good day for me because I did a mural that's kind of like as tall as a building. And it was finally put up on Barack Obama School, which is the old Custer High School.
Oh, yeah.
So if you go down that, what street is that? Sherman Boulevard or something? You go on the north end of the school, you'll see it. It's got a red background, so now it really pops out. That's what I do. And next week I'll be going to Cuba.
Really?
My family, yeah.
He travels
For
a
a little
lot.
bit, yeah, see how it's going. That's where all the Latin rhythms come from, and the dances in Cuba. And that's where the African diaspora is. So the music in Cuba is more African than the music in America, technically. And that's where Celia Cruz comes from. I don't know if you know about her. And they got different bands, so that'll be good. They got the old cars from the 50s still going and 60s still going on there. So it's kind of rough, so I'll take some pictures. Maybe next time we'll show what's going on.
Maybe you'll come back and you're gonna do
Yeah.
some new works, right?
Yeah, I'll do some Cuban work.
Oh, all right. Very good. Now, just a couple of things. Ronaldo does sketches for the different courtroom scenes. Can you just tell us one of the last ones that you did so that they'll have an idea? And he worked for Channel 4 for many years. He's done so many things, you know.
That's because in Milwaukee, Midwest, you got to do more than one thing than another. Otherwise, you star. Especially if you're a person of color, you can really star. Even the portraits, if you do portraits and sell them here, you get a better price on the East Coast, just because that's the way it is in the U.S. So I used to work at Channel 4 in the art department, which was in a lower level, the basement. Then after a while, when they had the news department come down and snatch me out of there, I would go to court. I used to draw in local court, then federal court. Now it's just federal court because they have cameras in the courtroom. Except for federal court, they don't. So I get the federal things. At least recently I did. It's been like my older persons I was drawing. For one reason or another, they'd be in federal court. So like the last one, Michael McGee. Remember him? He was in court. And during the break, after I drew for a couple days, and then what happens, they try to get on the 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock news, and if they don't have time, you run down with your sketch and you tape it on the side of the van. And then they have the cameraman take a picture and they beam it back to make the deadline. So the next day in court, he was being taken off, then he turned around and he busted me out and said, "Man, I thought you were a good artist." Then he said, "You made me look like a leopard." And I'm thinking in my head, a leopard? A leopard or a leopard? Then it was a leopard. And so the next day he explained, what happened was, when they shoot your pictures, if you know about cameras, you can overexpose a picture and it gets too light. You can underexpose, it gets too dark. So I guess it wasn't my fault. The TV overexposed the picture on the TV. And he thought he looked too white, so he said you look like a leopard. So but we're still friends. So there's all little stories like that. You also get to see how when I first started, I was younger, and I had to do a Ray Mendoza trial way up on the top of Wisconsin. He was a guy from the south side of Milwaukee, and some undercover cops beat him up in the alley and kicked him, and he grabbed one of their weapons and he killed them both. So that was tried way up north. And then I was so young, I was saying, wow. So his lawyer and the lawyer trying to get him life. After the trial in the evening, they invited me to go eat dinner with them. So they're all joking around. You could tell there's evidence that wasn't in because of legal things. So I said, wow, your life's on the balance, and these guys just joke about it. So what happened, he got out of that. He wasn't convicted, but then they hounded him until they got him on a drug charge, send him up. So little things like that. So from courtroom sketching, I went to drawing caricatures. I took a little course in the basement of Capitol Court years ago, and then caricatures is, you know what caricatures are, right? So I did that, and later on, I auditioned in Orlando, Florida, and I got to draw on cruise ships, get on cruises just about free with somebody else. Then I went on celebrity cruise lines until the economy went bad and they cut down on things. So that just shows you we have to be versatile. But I always tell the kids, I do a lot of work in schools, and I hear a lot of things. I don't like math, I don't like this. And I tell them, well, if you don't like it, at least pass it so you don't have to take it again, because sooner or later you're going to have to get a GD or something. It's going to catch up to you. So we don't have to get A's in everything, little ones, but you want to at least get a C and pass. And then there's quite a few artists that don't know how to read a ruler. You know, a quarter inch, half inch, 30 seconds. So I can't really use them that much when we do murals, because a lot of times we have to grid the wall, south side. You got to know your math. So at least know algebra, fractions. I don't know about trigonometry, that's getting a little high for me too. So that's my little freebie lesson. Thank you.
Okay, and also, as I said, his daughter Rosalia, whom a lot of you know, I have her works here, and they're brilliant. And so, thanks, dear friend, and moving on.